This week, let's talk about something that I might need to define for you. Let's talk about theodicy. Shalom, my friends. Yes, theodicy. The first four letters, T-H-E-O, might give you a clue that this term has something to do with God, like the word theology, and you would be right. Theodicy is the defense of God in the face of the greatest challenge to belief in God, and that is the existence of evil. How can there be a God who is both all good and all powerful if there is evil in the world? I suspect this question might be especially challenging to me because I have two thinkers for whom I have absolute respect, and they have opposite views on this question. One of them is Rabbi Harold Kushner of blessed memory, and the other is Dennis Prager. Rabbi Kushner and his wife Suzette lost their son Aaron at the age of 14 from progeria, the rapid aging disease. Rabbi Kushner wrote a classic book as he grappled with the loss of his son, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. I always point out that the title is When Bad Things Happen, not Why. In his book, Rabbi Kushner took three statements and said that any two can be true at the same time, but only by denying the third. Here they are. God is good, God is all-powerful or omnipotent, and evil exists. Because the existence of evil is undeniable, Kushner was left with two options. He could accept the omnipotence of God by giving up his belief that God is good, or he could continue to believe in the goodness of God by giving up the idea that God is all-powerful. The second option was what he chose and became the basis of the book I mentioned a few moments ago. I knew Harold Kushner, and he once said to me that he and Dennis Prager love each other like brothers but agree on nothing. That, in and of itself, is a powerful lesson for today's world. The subject was one on which they disagreed. For Dennis, the existence of evil, be it literal evil perpetrated by human beings, or evil in the sense of natural disasters, for Dennis, neither challenges God's power or goodness. He believes that if God intervened in every situation in which a bad outcome was likely, it would render life meaningless. He believes God does let bad things happen. But I would point out that allowing something to happen is not the same as causing it or wanting it. And that's an essential point to me, one that makes Dennis's answer possible for me. To assert that a child dying of cancer is God's will goes against everything I believe about God. But I know that God made our bodies fallible, our lifespans finite, and at some point our bodies will fail and we will die. My own twist on Dennis's perspective is that imperfection is part of how God designed the world. And once imperfection exists, it can assert itself at any time. So where do I personally come down on this question? Well, I believe God created the universe, so I clearly don't believe in an impotent God. And who am I to judge what, if any, limits there are to God's power? On the other hand, I'm sympathetic to Rabbi Kushner's argument that things like childhood cancer make belief in a good and all-powerful God challenging. So although I acknowledge that I might be ducking the question a bit, My beliefs are that God's power is beyond human understanding, but that not everything that happens in the world reflects the will of God. Now, I know I invite you to leave comments with your own perspectives in the comments box every week, but this week I would be especially interested to read your opinions on what is, for me, a challenging theological question. So please, let me know what you think. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this video, or at least found it worthy of serious thought, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up button on YouTube so that more people can view the video. You can support the channel at patreon.com. I'll leave a link in the description box below the video. And of course, you can join our ever-growing community at the Rabbi Study by subscribing. All you have to do is log into YouTube and then click on my face right over here. You can also watch our last video by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.